अगर दोनों के बीच में एक डिबेट हो,
There are many people who just can't bear to see a woman being powerful or successful.
So it was kind of a spectacular display of political symbolism.
हम चले या न चले, हम करे या न करे, देश चल पड़ा है।
Number 1. Kejriwal. It was 3 weeks before the 2015 Delhi Assembly elections and Kiran Bedi had just been named the BJP's chief ministerial candidate.
किरण बेदी जी के नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़ने का जो हमारा निर्णय है, ये निश्चित ही भारतीय जनता पार्टी को विजय दिलाएगा।
It was termed a political masterstroke. Kejriwal could no longer play the outsider card and Bedi was seen as a decisive and no-nonsense administrator. Support for Bedi also poured in from some friend-turned-foes like Shanti Bhushan.
जिसने भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ संघर्ष किया तो वो मुख्यमंत्री बने, तो इससे अच्छी बात क्या हो सकती?
The tide seemed to be in Bedi's favour until Kejriwal tweeted an open challenge for a debate on election issues. Bedi, on her part, dodged the offer.
I'll do it in the assembly, and before that, I'm now focusing on delivery rather than only debates, because that's all what he's been doing.
And her refusal proved to be the perfect ammo for Kejriwal.
किरण जी को बधाई देता हूं और मैं उनसे अपील करता हूं कि ये जनतंत्र के लिए एक बहुत अच्छी पहल होगी अगर दोनों के बीच में एक डिबेट हो.
In the ensuing political rhetoric, Bedi came to be viewed as one who was afraid to face tough questions.
And I don't understand what Kiran Bedi says means when she says that she stands for delivery. Delivery is a post-poll phenomenon.
Yes.
Right now we are talking about who the voters should pick. And I think that for her to run away from this is a sign that she might not entirely be comfortable with the idea of facing Kejriwal on stage.
Kiran Bedi made the same mistake which Sheila Dikshit did. Sheila Dikshit had asked, who is Kejriwal? And she got humbled by him very badly. Kiran Bedi basically lost the battle of perception to Arvind Kejriwal as somebody who was willing to enter the den of the adversary and fight it out, whereas Kiran Bedi was seen as somebody who was actually running away from her den when the adversary would come in.
Even as the BJP, we know, is sharpening its attack on the Aam Aadmi Party, it is also worried that its top gun might backfire.
And backfire it did. The Aam Aadmi Party secured an absolute majority, winning 67 of 70 seats. Number 2. Narendra Modi. If you thought winning an election was hard, winning your place in the party is harder. The year was 2013. The BJP was still divided over whom to anoint their prime ministerial candidate for the crucial 2014 polls. The party was divided into two factions, one backing LK Advani and the other Narendra Modi. It was at this point of time that Modi sent out a clear message to his party with this speech at the BJP National Council.
हम चले या न चले, हम करे या न करे, देश चल पड़ा है.
Mr. Modi wanted to convey through the statement that I am here, I am the leader. Whether anybody comes with me or not, the people are coming with me. I don't need the party, I need the people, and they are with me already. So if you want to remain relevant, you also come with me, and that is what all the leaders did. They immediately began accepting Mr. Modi one by one by one. Only Mr. Advani and a few other seniors remained, who remained very reluctant on his bandwagon.
And a few months later, Modi was declared the party's prime ministerial candidate.
संसदीय दल ने यह फैसला किया है कि श्री नरेंद्र मोदी को आगामी लोकसभा चुनाव के लिए प्राइम मिनिस्ट्रियल कैंडिडेट के रूप में प्रोजेक्ट किया जाए.
With Narendra Modi as its prime ministerial face, the BJP secured a thumping majority. Few can deny the role the Modi factor played in that historic win. Number 3. Indira Gandhi. It was just after emergency. Indira Gandhi had lost the elections. The ruling Janta government had ordered a probe on her, and national sentiment was clearly not in her favour. It was during this tumultuous period that one act of defiance turned the narrative on its head.
She strode into the crowds, taking her battle to the people, even riding an elephant across the swollen river to Belchi in Bihar, where a caste massacre had taken place.
So it was kind of a spectacular display of political symbolism, and where the state government and the central government conspicuously failed to provide any help or succor to the victims. She was there.
It established her larger-than-life persona.
Belchi was Indira Gandhi at her charismatic best. Out here, she was a leader who actually completely broke the script as to how politics is done. Indira Gandhi said, that her heart bleeds for the poorest of the poor, the most marginalized of the marginalized. Dalits, they were the ones who had been massacred, so she sent out and consolidated her base among the scheduled castes.
And that sparked her march back to power. The Congress won the 1980 elections with a thumping 353-seat victory. Number 4. Jayalalitha. Jayalalitha's transition from screen goddess to 5-time chief minister was not an easy one, particularly in the aftermath of MGR's death. A defining moment in her career was when she was assaulted and manhandled, allegedly by DMK leaders in the Tamil Nadu Assembly. The image of a shaken Jayalalitha, holding her torn sari with her hair in disarray, established her standing as a woman wronged for trying to make it in a man's world.
In politics, you can do everything, but you do not actually humiliate a woman in public. You do not outrage the modesty of a woman in public. Jayalalitha had to face every disrespect and insult because of being a woman and being the other woman in the life of MGR. It took a lot of effort on her part, on her charismatic capacities, to be finally achieved as the woman, the inheritor of MGR's political career.
There are many people who just can't bear to see a woman being powerful or successful. Some people just can't bear to see a woman considered intelligent and strong and dynamic. They just don't like it. Many people simply don't like taking orders from a woman. That's still there.
After her public humiliation, she vowed that she would return to the assembly only as chief minister. And she did, winning the 1991 elections with a resounding majority to become Tamil Nadu's youngest chief minister. Number 5. YSR. The division of the Telangana-Andhra Pradesh state was a hotly debated issue between YS Rajashekar Reddy and KCR during the 2009 Andhra Pradesh elections. The then Chief Minister YSR was staunchly against it, but made sure not to make any mention of it during his campaign rallies in the Telangana region. YSR waited until after the Telangana region had gone to polls and then unleashed his trump card. At a campaign rally in Nandyal, YSR claimed that if a separate state was created under the Grand Alliance regime, the people of Andhra and Rayalaseema would be forced to obtain visas to enter Hyderabad.
In United Andhra politics, there was this sentiment for a long time that the people from Simandhara did not want a separate state of Telangana because they wanted to retain their clout. They also wanted control over Hyderabad, which was the capital of the state. They could not imagine life minus Hyderabad. The rest of the hinterland of Telangana was not of real consequence. The basic battle was over Hyderabad.
Looks like the power play worked. The Congress fought off anti-incumbency to win the majority. YSR retained his chief ministership and continued as head of state. However, his reign was tragically cut short after he died in a helicopter crash. It takes a combination of multiple factors to win an election. You have to pick the right issues, the right candidates, and the right moments to turn the tides in your favor. Much has been spoken about political strategy and perception battles, but there have been only a few who use the right words at the right time to seal the fate of elections.